what we will have today is a short presentation about EDISS itself. And after that, we can move to the Q&A sessions where you will be able to ask questions from the Q&A chat that you can see here in Zoom. So as a quick overview of what is EDISS, so EDISS is an Erasmus Mundus joint master degree program, which is offered by 4 partner universities. So we have Åbo Academy University in Finland, Mälardalen University in Sweden, then the University of the Balearic Island in Spain, and the University of L'Aquila in Italy. It's a 2-year master program where all of our students studies in 2 different universities, and at the end of the program, our students get 2 master degrees. What EDISS provides is an holistic view of AI and machine learning, data science, and at the same time software engineering. And through the different courses and lectures, in EDISS, our students will basically combine both theoretical and practical knowledge, as well as different project works through different project courses or assignments in different lectures. And at the same time, because it's a Mundus program where there is a required mobility period, it will force you to live in an international environment and eventually step out and give you the opportunity to step out from your comfort zone. The overall program structure is the following. So all the students start the first year at Åbo Academy University in Finland, where we provide basically the data science package, plus a set of courses in software engineering and the research project course. Then we have a winter school, the EDISS winter school, which happens every academic year, where both the first and the second year students actually are all together during one week for the winter school. Then in between the first and the second year, there is a compulsory summer internship of a minimum 2 months, which is done typically in a company, in one of our associate company. I have a slide later that shows the current state of our associate company. Then after the internship, the students move to the second year specialization tracks, and that can be done in 3 different ways. Either in Sweden at MDU, which provides the industrial machine learning and software engineering track, or in Spain, where you get the computer vision and intelligent system specialization, or in Italy at University of L'Aquila, where you get the model-driven machine learning and software engineering specialization track. We will share with you the slides for the one that registered for this webinar, so you will be able to have access to those links. But basically, I will not share here and give details on all the courses that are available in the first and second year. This is something which is provided in details on our website. And also for your information, you can go to our website to check the activity and content of our previous winter schools. And we also have on our YouTube channel some videos from previous summer internships. More are coming actually in a few weeks. More videos will be published. Those are our associate industrial partners at the moment. So it's several companies in different European countries, mainly Finland, Sweden, Italy, and Spain. And typically, those companies provide topics, for example, for the summer internship, but eventually also for the thesis, the master thesis at the end of the program. And we also have, for example, guest lecturer from those companies. The list is always increasing, so we typically get several new companies all the time. When it comes to the admission requirements, so we ask our applicants to have an undergraduate degree, typically a bachelor degree, of at least 180 ECTS. So that corresponds to 3 years of bachelor. And this undergraduate degree should be in computer science or software engineering or something equivalent to computer science and software engineering. We do have students that have a slightly different background. which can be considered as equivalent to computer science or software engineering. We also require good proficiency in English, and for that, official test score from two different organizations. So either the TOEFL or then the IELTS score. There is a few exceptions to that. Please carefully check our website, but those exceptions are typically students getting their bachelor degree from one of the European countries, or Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, USA, or Switzerland. And the admissions to EDISS is relatively competitive, and we only are going to select the best applicants for each intake. The participation cost in the program is the following. So we have two different participation costs, depending if you are from a program country or for partner country. The participation cost is 4,500 euros for program country students and 9,000 euros per year for partner country students. And program countries are typically or basically the European Union member states, plus North Macedonia, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Turkey, Serbia, and Great Britain. And the partner countries are all other countries. And this participation cost will cover the tuition fees, the health and accident insurance we do provide to our students, and also the participations to our compulsory winter school. Because we are a Mondus program, we also offer Mondus scholarship, Erasmus Mondus scholarship. And those scholarships cover basically the participation cost, so what I just mentioned. In addition to that, it provides a travel cost grant. We have three different amounts depending basically from where you are coming from. Partner country students also get once an installation cost grant of 1,000 euros. And the Mondus scholarships also offer for all the students 1,000 euros per month scholarship for a maximum of 24 months. For the next intake, that will be our fourth intake, we expect to be able to distribute 26 Mondus scholarships. And we have, for this next intake, 3 scholarships available for program country students, 15 overall for partner country students. And then in addition to that, we have few extra additional scholarships that are reserved for students from very specific countries. And I will not go through the list, but those are the 8 additional scholarships we have at the moment, and that we will offer now in our next application round. In addition to the Mondus scholarship, we also offer the EDISS scholarship. So this is a scholarship which is provided by the program itself. And the EDISS scholarship covers the participation cost, so 4,500 euros per year or 9,000 euros per year, depending from where you are coming from. And then it also provides a monthly scholarship of 700 euros per month for the first year, and 300 euros per month scholarship for the second year. Now, the second year scholarship in the EDISS scholarship program is less than for the first year, and that can be explained because for the second year, the EDISS scholarship holder will be eligible for the Erasmus Plus mobility grant, which is at around 500 euro per month, so a bit less than 500 euro per month. So overall, for the second year, you reach more or less the same level of grant as for the first year, a bit above actually. And for the next intake, we expect to be able to provide 2 to 4 EDISS scholarships to our applicants. The application period is going to open very, very soon, in a few days, the 1st of November, and it will close on the 2nd of January 2024. So you basically have 2 months to prepare and submit your application. Those are the different steps you need to follow. First of all, you need to check your academic and your English language requirements. Then you need to actively prepare all your application documents. And then you need to apply online from the website studyinfo.fi within the deadline. Then we do our best to publish the results of this application round by March 2024. And for the ones that are going to be accepted in the program, we will verify all the original documents, so the degree certificates and the transcript, when the admitted students will arrive in Finland, and that will happen then in August 2024. What I want to tell you, you need to check out very, very carefully all the 6 pages we have on our website, not only TOS 6, but mainly TOS 6 when you prepare your application. Because they provide all the information about the requirements, the process, and the different evaluation criteria. We also have a frequently asked questions section there, so please have a look at that. It provides very, very useful information. So this is the overall admission schedule for our next application round. The application will close on the 2nd of January, so at 3 p.m. Finnish time. So your application has to be submitted by this deadline. And after submitting your application by the 2nd of January, you will still have a week, 7 days sharp, to eventually update the enclosure of your submitted application, and only the enclosure, and only if you did submit your application by the deadline. Then we will send by email the results by March 2024, and students that will be awarded a study place with a Mondo scholarship will have 7 days to accept the offer. If they don't accept the offer within 7 days, then the offer will basically be given to another students from the waiting list. For the students that will not graduate by the application deadline, so that will graduate with their bachelor only in the spring 24, then we have a deadline for them to send us their degree and transcript and eventually the English translation. And that is the last Friday of July, the 26th of July, 2024. And that only applies to the students that are conditionally admitted and that will basically need to graduate and show us the proof of graduations, the latest by the 26th of July. And like I said just before, the study will start in August 2024 here at Obo Academy University for the first year. So that was a very relatively short overview and a set of information about EDISS and also about the upcoming application round. So now we have some time for a Q&A. I need to
whilst you are opening, I can give a summary of some of the questions from the people attending. There's questions about who can apply. What about the person with a mechanical engineering education or graduate from that field with a software experience? And another asking about equivalent degrees.
Yes, I will stop sharing soon, but before I answer the question and before I stop sharing, I just wanted to say, I forgot to say that. So what you see on the photo, those are our 3 previous intakes. And I also want you to check the website and eventually follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We do post basically our activities there, the different activities that happens within EDISS. So feel free to check also those different links. The questions about some equivalent degrees we had, for example, in the past. I can tell you, for example, we admitted students that had maybe a background in mechatronics, still with a strong component in software engineering. But we admitted the students having background in mechatronics. We admitted also several students having background in electrical engineering, still with a strong component in software engineering and or machine learning, but having a bachelor degree in electrical engineering, for example. Those are the typical maybe equivalent degrees we do accept in EDISS.
Yes, thank you. And you showed the page about the Erasmus Mundus scholarships. Which countries have better opportunities, so to say, to get a scholarship? There's a participant asking now, are the scholarships available only to selected countries? Or yeah, okay. Could you answer?
Yeah. The scholarships are available to all, absolutely all countries in the world. So the only things we have is that we have 3 that are specifically meant for program country students. And then we have 15 that we can distribute to any students from any country in the world. And then we have few of those additional scholarships that we can only distribute to students from selected countries. The pool of 15 scholarships we have for the next intake can be given to students from basically any country.
I can answer the following or another question.
Yeah.
That is a bit related to this. It's a person asking about this central GPA of 8.65 and whether it's enough. And it's again the same, you are kind of competing with the other applicants from your own country. So if it's how good the grade is considered to be is also depending on that, to be honest. And also we don't have any minimum grading or so, and the GPA from each year varies too, so we cannot really answer that. Or what do you say, Sebastian?
Yes, and it depends also year to year. I mean, what we can say is that we don't have any threshold in the GPA of our applicants, and it really every year it's the average more or less change. So if you say here that the questions mentioned or the attendee mentioned that he or she has a 8.65 GPA over 10, that should definitely not stop you to apply. Definitely not.
Then I see questions from an applicant from Pakistan. I would, regarding the attested documents, please have a look at the country-specific requirements as we mentioned on our website. And there, I think you would find the answers. I don't think we have go through now the details for each of the countries, but you can also email if you are still unsure. Email us at edis.abo@abo.fi, and we will give you specific answers there. But mainly you can say that at the stage when you apply, you submit copies, and if you are selected, then you will get bring your originals with you.
I can answer we have a questions about, for example, the CV. So for your EDISS applications, you will need to fill in, you will need to submit a CV, and we provide a template for this CV. And it's through there we ask for your experience, international experience, and other experience. The question is that the person got confused a bit between those 3 entities. I mean, I think it's clear in international experience, you need there to provide any activities you did basically abroad, outside your home country, relevant activities in the context of EDISS. In the experience section, then there you put any relevant activity in the context of EDISS you had within your home country. And you are free to decide and basically judge what kind of eventually other type of experience. There is a second question from the same person asking about the after graduation opportunity. So it is a bit always difficult to answer case by cases, but I can tell you our students typically and easily get a relevant job right after their studies. I know that several of our AD students applied for a PhD and got accepted in different PhD programs recently. And I also know that several of them recently got a full-time job related to data science, machine learning, AI, or software engineering. I mean, when you graduate with 2 degrees from two European universities on the field of software engineering, data science, AI, and machine learning, you typically have good job opportunity after that.
There's a question from a person that says that they know about the requirements, but what do you specifically look for regarding like qualities in an applicant?
We look for everything somehow, everything which is mentioned. I mean, everything the application contains. We have a look at the website about the different weights for the different section. The academic merit of the applicants, this is what counts the most. So basically your grade in your transcript, this is what has the highest weight when we evaluate.
Yes, and then there was a question a bit the same as the first one, with a kind of not perhaps perfect match, but close. Electronics and telecommunications background.
So I would say the minimum will be that there is at least something we can consider, for example, as a minor in that degree, a minor in software engineering.
And then a question, can I apply if I haven't previously worked in or with AI? How can I justify that I should be considered for this program solely based on interest? Is there an opportunity there?
Yes, definitely. We do have many of our students never had work experience before joining EDISS and directly, graduated with a bachelor and got accepted and directly continued with a master program in EDISS. So we definitely don't require our applicants to have a work experience. What was now I don't remember the question. And
AI specifically.
We also don't require experience related to AI directly. We require a degree in computer science and or software engineering or equivalents.
Yes.
But it does not have to be a bachelor in AI or focused on machine learning, for example.
Do you have anything to add, Sebastian, to another applicant asking about a background in electronical engineering? Or is that also a bit the same as the others with kind of these similar fields of study?
Yeah, it's a bit
explained.
I would say it's a bit the same, and we do have students in EDISS that have a bachelor in electrical engineering.
Yes, and there's a person also asking about the CV and how much bullet points one can add, but I think that you can add as many as you want there. So I mean, everything you find relevant, you should add.
Yes, definitely. There is one question here I have in front. Based on data from previous intakes, what is the estimated acceptance rate for the upcoming intake? I mean, it's actually public on our website. For example, for last intake, we had around 360 applicants, and we accepted 25 students. We expect more or less the same for next intake.
I will also here from time to time type some answers. So there's been questions about the language test criteria, but so I've been answering them, and those you also find answers to on the web page. And the same with the question that who is considered a partner country student and who is considered a program country student. But I will also add them in the text here. So
yeah. I have two actually in front of me. I can easily answer. I have a question. Is there any final interview before final list preparations? No, there is no interview in the admission process in EDISS. And the next question is, will having a prior work experience in the field will give us preference for the application? I would say eventually yes, but no more than maximum 15% of the points for your application. So the previous relevant experience is weighted up to or gives up to 15 points out of 100. So that gives you an idea about how much weight eventually.
I think there was another question, or is it now the same, that what you persons that wants to stand out a bit, but I think you already gave good answers to that question. Well, we can take this one from a person. They have been studying economics and education, but have been working as a software engineering, building analytics solution in data analytics team for over 2 years. Am I eligible to apply?
This is what was the name of the?
You find the or it's sorry.
The name of the degree or the bachelor.
Yeah, it's also a name of a company that I will not say here.
Okay.
But anyway, the education is in economics and education, but the person has software engineering experience from work over 2 years. So how do you consider that?
Yeah, I mean, the strict requirements is exactly what we said, is you need to have a bachelor in software engineering, computer science, or equivalent subject. And your academic merit within that bachelor will count for 70% of the points. So it will weigh 70% when we evaluate your applications, and 15% will be put on previous experience. So it's up to the applicant themselves to actually also estimate and realize if their background actually is compatible with the application requirement.
Yes, I can answer another question here about the recommendation letters. There need to be 2 recommendation letters, and they both need to be academic recommendation letters. So this person is asking about how about recommendation letters from the work person is having, but unfortunately that will not be accepted. So it needs to be academic. And another question, it was about the evaluation criteria. So just the information for you all, I added the link there. So there you see what Sebastian also earlier explained, that which criteria gives the most points and so on.
I mean, if in admission there is an evaluation criteria, and there is the page gives all the information. I have 3 questions in front of me. One is, you have mentioned that EDISS has also its own scholarship other than the Modus 1. It is correct. We have to apply it separately. The answer is no. The way we will do is that our own EDISS scholarship will be offered to the students that are on the waiting list on the Modus scholarship. So you don't need to apply it separately. It's part of the upcoming application round. Then there is a question to apply for this program. Do I need to have a publication? The answer is no. We don't have any requirements on having or not having papers publications. And there is a question, relevant certification will add up something. Yes, we strongly advise you to upload, to attach to your applications any relevant activities and corresponding certifications that you have, which you consider yourself relevant in the context of EDISS.
And then there was also, Sebastian, more again specific about the person's background in library and information science and the eligibility.
This is a bit difficult to say. To me, it does not maybe sounds equivalent to computer science or software engineering, but again, depending on the exact list of courses and minors the applicants have, it might be relevant also.
And can you answer the following one from a person that saying that the professor that he wants to write the academical recommendation letter is a PhD and did now leave the academic academia. But what about how do you consider a recommendation letter from a person like that?
Yeah, that will be considered. I mean, as long as maybe it's explicitly mentioned that recommendation letters cover the period when that person was actually staff member, an academic member of a university, then there is no problem at all with that. There is one related to recommendation letter also here. It says about the recommendation letter, does it need to be from a dean or a full professor? No, it has to be from a lecturer will work also. I mean, somebody that know you enough in the context of your studies at your home university that can write a recommendations letter for you. So it does not have to be from the dean or the full professor. Actually, I would prefer having it from somebody that know you the best, which typically might not be the dean.
And I can also answer another question here about students who have not yet graduated during the application period. So you can still apply as long as you will graduate. For you, we will ask for the provisional statements from your university saying what you still, which courses you have left and when you plan to conduct them. And then we expect you to have your degree so that you can let us know by the last Friday of July 2024 that you have graduated. You will separately send in the degree documents then, so you have a bit more time, but you still need that application time to provide us with something, and it needs to be signed by the university.
Yes. I selected several questions here to answer. The first one, is there any application fee? No, there is no application fee at all. The next one, does internship is considered as experience? So do we consider internship as experience as part of the application? Yes, of course, we do consider internship. If they are relevant in the context of EDISS, we do consider that as experience. And another one, can students apply for for both Erasmus Mundus and EDISS scholarship? Basically, you do it when you apply now. When you are going to apply in the next application round, you do apply for basically for both of them. Like I said, the one that will be on the waiting list for the Mundus scholarship will be offered the EDISS scholarships. And one more I have here, is any research publication, or basically does research publications have any impact on selection criteria? Of course, if you do have a published paper, that will impact the points you get in relevant experience. So relevant publications on a relevant field, on a relevant topic will positively impact your application.
Yeah, I think there's a similar about the impact of the application. I mean, it's the same with industrial work experience in IT. Everything is considered as a good thing when it's related. So please add it to your CV when applying. There's also a question about the language criteria that I can answer. I can read it out loud. Is it compulsory for international students to give IELTS before applying, or can they give it after being shortlisted? So we need this information within the application period, and test score needs to be valid. It usually is valid for 2 years, and you need to make sure that it's valid still for 14 days after the application period ends. So 14 days after the 2nd of January, meaning the 16th of January, because it takes time for us when we go through the applications. So therefore we want it to be valid for at least that much longer, and it cannot be added later.
There is a question, does the selection committee prefer to select candidates from different regions or just the top applicants are selected? The top applicants are just selected within each region. This is maybe the way to answer. Because of the Mondus requirements, when we distribute Mondus scholarship, for example, we don't have the right to accept more than 3 students having the same citizenship, except with those additional scholarships we have. So with those ones, we can actually increase the quota of 3 students having the same citizenship. Somebody asked, actually didn't hear clearly how many people applied last year. It was 360 applicants, if I remember correctly, around 360, and we did select 25, yes.
Yeah, this is a bit of a petition, but I will type here the answer to someone that asked, when you apply for the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, will you automatically then be considered for the other scholarships if you don't get the Erasmus Mundus? And the answer is, as Sebastian already said, yes, but perhaps I don't need to write it.
There is a question, is the auto-generated proof of residency by an official government website accepted? I would say yes, as long as that will be officially accepted in your home country. This is something we will, of course, also accept as proof of residency.
There's no limits for the CVs, so you download it as PDFs. So to answer one of your questions.
For the CV, you basically need to fill in the provided template. There is a question, can we upload our passport as a proof of residence even if it's issued more than a year by the application? Then I would say yes, as long as your passport contains the proof of residency, your address basically, and it's valid. I would say that can be used as a proof of residency.
But it must be still like not older than 12 months. According to our criteria.
Yes, my fault. Yes, that's true. The proof of residency needs to be less than 12 months old. Yeah. So the answer is no, actually. If your passport is older than 1 year, you cannot use it as a proof of residency. Thank you.
Yeah, but at the same, I mean, you can also see if you have bills addressed to you. It doesn't have to be passports or driving licenses and so on. It can also be as simple as a bill if it has all the required information. We can perhaps answer this, Sebastian, together. How much weight does the personal statement hold and what info should be in it according to you? I guess the person is referring to the academical recommendation letters, or what do you, or if that's the case, what would you recommend that it should consist of?
Sorry, I missed the first part.
The academical recommendation letters, what kind of information do you specifically look for in them?
Well, we look overall for the recommendations of the students and maybe any statement that will express the academic merit of the applicants and always, in the context of what EDISS provide. There is a question here I can answer. Can the students apply for more than one Erasmus Mundus program? The answer is yes. You can apply for more than one Erasmus program. There is another one. Is volunteering experience relevant to EDISS? Eventually, yes. I mean, if you have volunteering experience, you can put that in the CV, definitely.
Okay, this is a bit more perhaps detailed. Could you answer it, Sebastian? There's a person asking about the multiple rounds of selection and what will happen in each kind of round.
We have internal round in the selections process, but we don't have, for example, we don't have interviews, so there is no interview round. But the selection process is done jointly by all the 4 universities. And actually each applicant is going to be reviewed more than once, so by at least 2 different universities. And then there is the selection committee that will basically merge all those reviews together and come up with a final ranking list for all the applicants.
Then there's another question about if you are allowed to take part-time jobs whilst you are studying, but that's not accepted. Perhaps you, Sebastian, can explain more why, but at the same time, I want for you to have a look at our webpage where we have the student agreement. If you are interested, there we also in detail explain the kind of conditions of the scholarships regarding this and other questions that you may have.
Yes, yeah, that's a very good comment. We all advise you to go on to our website and have a look at the student agreements that basically all our admitted students sign. And that provide, I mean, all detailed information about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And like what Michaela mentions, for the students receiving the scholarship, we do not allow part-time job in addition to the full-time studies. There is one here, but I think I more or less already answered it. Does international experience matter in CV? Yes, it can, of course, obviously make a difference and bring some extra points if those international experience are relevant in the context of EDISS. There is a comment also here. I am still confused on resident certificate. Well, basically, we need a proof of residency, which is less than 12 months old. So a document that states basically that states in English your address, the place where you are living. There is also a question: how can we record these sessions? You cannot record yourself the sessions, but we are recording it, and we will later publish the video.
Yeah, there's again some questions about the language criteria. I'm typing the answers, and if I don't have time to answer them all, please have a look under admission. There we explain the language criteria and which tests you need to take and those that are excluded from this requirement.
There is a question. I am currently wrapping up another master program in data analysis. Can this improve my chance with EDISS? So this is something you should definitely mention and actually document in your application. But your academic merit will be based on your bachelor degree, and basically the transcript you will provide for your bachelor degree. And this experience you have as being a student in another master program in data analysis will be taken into account as other relevant experience. There is another question. I am not sure if I understand exactly the question. It asks, do I need to secure a program advisor, supervisor prior to my application? The answer is definitely not. You don't need to have any program advisor or supervisor before applying. This is something you get when you are accepted and when you are physically here with us.
Yes, and I can answer another question from a person asking about the transcript of records when applying. So if you have graduated, you need to have your of course final transcript of records, but if you are in the case that you will graduate before, we need to have your information, so at the latest the last Friday of July. So if you when you apply do not have that yet, then you apply with the transcript of records that you have, but then you also, as we explained before, need to have the statement from the university of which course are missing and when you plan to conduct them.
Yeah, there are two questions here that came. if I'm awarded the scholarship, will the travel cost be covered, or will I need to bear the expenses myself? So the scholarship does not cover for the actual cost, actually, the travel cost. It's a lump sum. So basically, whatever cost you have for your travel, you will get the same amount of grant for as the travel grant. So it's not linked with the actual cost. Those grants, the scholarship will actually be paid from September 2024. So of course, you will need to first pay yourself your flight tickets traveling to Finland, and only in September 24 the scholarship will basically give you the travel grant. There is again a question about the proof of residency. The question is the following: if my passport is less than 12 months old and the information page contains my current address, will it count as proof of residency? The answer is yes. If it's less than 12 months old and it has your address, that is a proof of residency. And it also will my electricity bill count as a proof of residency? The same, yes, if it's less than 12 months old and if we can read it, so basically if it's in English, that will also count.
I think we are unfortunately soon lacking time, but I could pick up here one that could be perhaps of general interest. There's a person asking, can we add links in our CV? What do you say, Sebastian? As one of the evaluators, do you look at that?
Yeah, of course. If the link points to something relevant, you can definitely put links in your CV. Yeah, try to have the links short, maybe. That will be my advice.
There's another question. We can perhaps refer to the internship companies or associate partner companies that you already showed. There's a person attending the seminar asking about if we can mention a few potential employers, and there was another question also that I think we didn't answer yet about the career opportunities. So perhaps this is what we can combine them and then you can answer them.
Career opportunity. I mean, our students are typically getting jobs as software developer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, PhD students also. So those are, I would say, the typical job position titles our graduates get after the program.
Yeah, and this could also be of general interest. Which things will you recommend to include in the motivational video? Do you have any advice there?
You need to be yourself.
That's a good advice.
You need to be yourself in the video, you need to be yourself. There is also maybe here questions. All the documents are required to be submitted online, or do we have to courier? No, you need to only submit online scanned versions of all the documents. So the application is not fully online.
What about persons that took part in online courses? And online courses arranged by universities, how do you consider them? There's a more specific question here from a person asking about if that person gets a reference from a professor that provided a course online. How would you look at
it? I would say it depends a bit of the context, how and in which context you took this online course. Was it part of something maybe official that I know exists in several countries? It's of course you can always add a certificate and proof of all those online courses, but it depends a lot of the context. I know that in some countries, actually, you can get online courses from official, or how can I say, accredited university, and you even get an official transcript out of that, and that is fully relevant and valid. In some other cases, you only get maybe a certificate, which is not that official. that you can also always add in your CV as relevant experience, but it's maybe does not have the same weight as maybe an online course from an officially accredited university.
There's another also about the recommendation letter. So if we can take this as well now, I guess it's the same, or how do you think about it? A person graduated some years ago, and I understand it that it's from an affiliated college to a university, and would that recommendation letter be taken into consideration?
Yeah, and that is probably a lot also country-based. It depends a lot of the country. In some countries, you have those colleges that are affiliated to universities. Definitely, I would say a recommendation letter based from a professor or a lecturer from the college where you took the classes will definitely be okay to attach to your application. There's one more maybe that I noticed. I think it's important. Somebody that said that that has mathematics background, so background in mathematics and in also experience in computer science and data science. So I would say we do have. So this is, I would say, that in several cases can be considered as equivalent degrees. If you have a bachelor in mathematics with relevant component and experience in computer science and data analysis, data science, that can be and was in the past already considered as equivalent to computer science and software engineering.
Yeah, there was a totally different question that I can answer. It happens from time to time that persons with, how shall I say, like have one name that they uses, and then we in the application form ask for first name and surname. But then if you have one name and that's the only official name that you have on your passport, then you should use that name as both first name and surname in our application. That I can also take a quick one, since it came from two at least persons, the language tests again. So if you get a higher score than the minimum requirement, then I mean it's good for you, but it doesn't add any value. We just see, is it over what's requested or is it not? That's the only criteria for us regarding the language test.
Okay, Michaela, we have almost 10 minutes over time already.
Yes, I see, and unfortunately there was a lot of questions that we didn't answer. Yeah.
But what I strongly recommend for all of you is to please have a look at our web page, especially all the page below the admission menu. There is a lot of information. Most of the answer to most of your questions are already there. If you don't find the answer to your exact questions, I strongly advise you to contact us. The email is ediss@abo.fi. And also we will have a second webinar end of November. You are of course very free to attend the second one. You just need to remember to register for the second webinar also, that we can send you the webinar link. For the second one. I think it's the 30th of November.
Yes. It's the same time as this one.
Yes.
So 3 o'clock Finnish time.
Yes. Thanks for everybody that attended this webinar, and we wish you good luck with your application, and we hope to see you in August 2024 here at Obo Academy for the EDISS program. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.